Welcome to a trip back in time to Mayberry, the charming little town that gave us one of television's most beloved series, The Andy Griffith Show. This is not just a story about a sitcom. It's a story about the people who made Mayberry unforgettable. Today, we'll explore the top 10 characters from the show, each with an amazing fun fact that will make you smile, reminisce, and maybe even see the series in a whole new way. Number 1. Andy Taylor may have been Mayberry's sheriff, but did you know Andy Griffith almost never wore a gun? In an age when lawmen on TV were always armed, Andy broke the mold by relying on wisdom, humor, and kindness. It was a subtle but powerful choice that separated Sheriff Taylor from the countless Western-style sheriffs and marshals that audiences were used to seeing. The show's creators wanted Sheriff Taylor to stand apart, and Griffith himself insisted that Andy's authority came from respect, not intimidation. His calm and thoughtful demeanor reminded viewers that true strength didn't come from force, but from patience, listening, and treating others fairly. That small decision became one of the biggest reasons audiences saw Andy Taylor as not just a lawman, but the heart and soul of Mayberry. Even decades later, he remains a model of leadership built on compassion instead of fear. Number 2. Barney Fife, played by Don Knotts, gave us some of the show's funniest and most unforgettable moments. His single bullet, carried in his pocket, became legendary, and it turned into one of the greatest running jokes in television history. Don Knotts wasn't just acting nervous and jittery. He carefully studied physical comedy to perfect every twitch, every stammer, and every stumble. His mastery of timing was so sharp that even the smallest gesture could bring laughter. His work earned him 5 Emmy Awards, cementing his place as one of television's most brilliant comedic actors. Barney's character was meant to be short-lived, but audiences adored him so much that he became central to the show's humor and heart. Without Barney, Mayberry would never have had the same sparkle or the same balance between laughter and sincerity. Number 3. Opie Taylor. Andy's young son, played by Ron Howard, stole hearts with his innocence and honesty. At just 6 years old, Ron Howard was already showing signs of brilliance, and he quickly became one of America's favorite child actors. When he wasn't filming, Ron wasn't just playing, he was watching. He listened carefully to directors, studied how cameras moved, and asked questions about lighting and storytelling. His natural curiosity was a sign of what was to come. Little Opie grew up to become one of Hollywood's greatest directors, giving us classics like Apollo 13 and A Beautiful Mind. But no matter how successful he became, audiences still love to look back at the freckle-faced boy from Mayberry who taught us about honesty, family, and growing up. Please show your support for the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and hitting the notifications bell so that you never miss a new video. Number 4. Aunt Bee, portrayed by Frances Bavier, was the warm, nurturing presence in the Taylor home. She was the glue that held the household together, and for millions of viewers, she became the very definition of home. In real life, though, she was known to be private and even a little shy. She poured genuine motherly care into every scene, from her warm smiles to her slightly fussy scolding. Her fried chicken, her apple pie, and her gentle ways became more than just lines in a script. They became part of American pop culture. People even say you can almost smell her cooking just by watching her on screen. Interestingly, Bavier later retired in Siler City, North Carolina, not far from where the show was set, almost as if she wanted to live out her days in the real Mayberry. In that way, she stayed connected to the world she helped create, long after the cameras stopped rolling. Number 5. Gomer Pyle, played by Jim Nabors, gave us his famous catchphrase. Well, golly, his wide-eyed innocence and clumsy charm made him unforgettable. But behind the bumbling mechanic was a secret talent. He was an extraordinary singer with a voice that shocked fans. The first time audiences heard him sing, they were amazed. His deep, operatic tone was worlds away from the goofy, good-natured Gomer they knew. He stunned people with his range and power, leading to record deals, concerts, and appearances that showed off his incredible gift. So while Gomer Pyle gave us laughs, Jim Nabors gave us music that touched hearts across the world. He proved that talent sometimes hides in the most unexpected places, even in a garage in Mayberry. Number 6. Goober Pyle, Gomer's cousin, played by George Lindsey, was known for his comic antics and his love for cars. His easygoing personality and goofy sense of humor made him an instant favorite. One of his most memorable bits was doing celebrity impressions simply by using a hat. George Lindsey brought so much warmth to Goober that he became one of the show's most beloved supporting characters. His popularity carried him beyond the Andy Griffith Show into Mayberry RFD and later into Hee Haw, where his comedy kept fans laughing for decades. Fans adored him because he captured the pure joy of Mayberry. He reminded everyone that the town wasn't just about laws or lessons, it was about finding laughter in everyday life. Number 7. Floyd Lawson, the town barber, was played by Howard McNear. Floyd's quirky, slow-talking style gave the show a rhythm that was both funny and comforting, almost like a pause button in the middle of Mayberry's stories. In real life, McNear suffered a stroke during the show's run. Instead of writing him out, the producers and cast adjusted how they filmed his scenes so he could remain part of the Mayberry family. Chairs and careful camera angles helped keep him involved. That loyalty turned Floyd into more than just the barber. He became a symbol of the community's love and support. To this day, Floyd reminds fans that Mayberry was a place where people looked out for each other, both on screen and off. Number 8. Otis Campbell, the town drunk, played by Hal Smith, was always locking himself in jail to sleep it off. His antics gave the sheriff's office some of its funniest and most memorable moments. But the real surprise was that Hal Smith was nothing like Otis at all. In truth, Smith didn't drink at all, and he lived a very different life from his character. He became a highly successful voice actor, giving life to characters in children's shows and even voicing parts in Disney classics like Winnie the Pooh. So, while Otis may have been comic relief in Mayberry, Hal Smith's legacy stretched far beyond, touching generations of children with voices they came to love. Number 9. Clara Edwards, the busybody of Mayberry, played by Hope Summers. She may not have been on screen as much as others, but she left a lasting impression. Often clashing with Aunt Bee, she gave us some of the funniest and most relatable neighborly disputes. Hope Summers had already built a long career in radio and film before arriving in Mayberry, and she brought that experience to the role, making Clara feel real. Her fussiness and strong opinions added a layer of realism to the town. Clara's sharp tongue and determination reminded audiences that even in a perfect little town, people sometimes disagreed. It was those small touches of truth that helped Mayberry feel so genuine. Number 10. Ernest T., played by Howard Morris, was one of the wildest characters to ever appear in Mayberry. Known for throwing rocks and causing chaos, he burst onto the screen with an energy that was unforgettable. What's surprising is that Ernest T. appeared in only a handful of episodes, yet his impact was enormous. Who could forget? It's me. It's me. It's Ernest T. Fans remembered his silly rhymes, his crazy laugh, and his unpredictable behavior as if he had been part of the cast from the very beginning. And so, our journey through Mayberry comes to a close. From Andy's gentle wisdom to Barney's slapstick nerves. From Aunt Bee's comforting pies to Ernest T.'s wild rock throwing, the top 10 characters remind us why the Andy Griffith Show has never faded from memory. It wasn't just about comedy or even small-town charm. It was about heart. These characters live on because they made Mayberry feel real, a place we could all call home.